Welcome back to Explain the Charts, where we break down the news and the charts to give you a clear picture of what's happening in the markets. Today, we're taking a look at the QQQ, the Nasdaq 100 Tracker ETF, and we're going to see if we can find any clues as to where it's headed. First, let's look at some of the news. The Nasdaq 100 futures led U.S. stocks lower on October 21st, as investors anticipate a busy week of earnings releases, which could either drive or stifle the recent record-setting rally. Over 100 S&P 500 companies are scheduled to report their earnings this week, with 80% of third-quarter updates exceeding expectations. Tesla is set to report its earnings on Wednesday, after its robotaxi unveiling fell short of expectations. Other major companies reporting this week include Netflix, General Motors, Coca-Cola, American Airlines, UPS, and Boeing. Boeing is expected to release earnings on Wednesday, coinciding with a union vote on a tentative deal to end a 5-week strike. Shares of Boeing rose by over 3% in early trading. Oil prices rebounded by 2% as China continued its stimulus efforts with a cut to key lending rates. Brent futures traded near $74 a barrel, and West Texas Intermediate crude futures surpassed $70. Now, let's take a look at the charts, starting with the daily chart for QQQ. Here, we can see that QQQ has been in a strong uptrend for the past few months. The price has broken through several resistance levels, but it's important to note that we're currently at the upper end of this trend. There's a risk of a short-term correction, and we'll need to see how the price reacts to any upcoming news events. The next major resistance level is around $495, but if the price breaks through that level, it's likely to continue to rise. However, if the price fails to break through the resistance, we could see a pullback to the previous support level at around $485. Let's zoom in on the 1-hour chart to see what's happening in the short term. Here, we see that QQQ has been consolidating in a range between $490 and $495 for the past few days. This consolidation is likely due to the upcoming earnings season, with investors waiting to see what the reports will say. If the price breaks through the upper end of the range, it's likely to continue to rise towards $495. However, if the price falls below the lower end of the range, it could see a further pullback towards $485. The 15-minute chart shows that QQQ has been trading in a very tight range for the past few hours. This suggests that there's not much momentum in either direction at the moment. Let's zoom in on the 15-minute chart and look at the candles from 10 hours to 13 hours UTC. Here, we see that QQQ has been trading in a tight range, with some small fluctuations in price. The lack of momentum suggests that investors are waiting for the earnings reports to come out before making any major moves. However, we do see a slight downward trend in the last few candles, which could be a sign that the price is starting to pull back. If the price falls below the support level at $490, it's likely to continue to fall towards $485. This suggests that investors are nervous about the upcoming earnings season and are looking for an opportunity to sell. But if the price manages to hold above the support level, it's likely to continue to trade in this range for the next few days. To recap, the daily chart shows that QQQ is at the upper end of a strong uptrend, but there's a risk of a short-term correction. The next major resistance level is around $495, but if the price breaks through that level, it's likely to continue to rise. The 1-hour chart shows that QQQ has been consolidating in a range between $490 and $495 for the past few days. If the price breaks through the upper end of the range, it's likely to continue to rise towards $495. The 15-minute chart shows that QQQ has been trading in a tight range, with some small fluctuations in price. This suggests that there's not much momentum in either direction at the moment. The upcoming earnings season is the most important factor to watch in the short term. If the earnings reports are positive, it's likely to boost the price of QQQ. However, if the reports are negative, it could lead to a sell-off. Another important thing to watch is the price action around the support level at $485. If the price falls below this level, it's likely to continue to fall towards $475. But if the price manages to hold above the support level, it's likely to continue to trade in the range between $485 and $495 for the next few days. Overall, the short-term outlook for QQQ is uncertain, with the upcoming earnings season being the most important factor to watch. However, the long-term outlook is still positive, with QQQ having broken through several resistance levels in recent months. The price is likely to continue to rise in the long term, but there could be some volatility in the short term. It's important to stay informed about the latest news events and to carefully monitor the charts to make informed trading decisions.